Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. In this video, we are going to discuss and solve one SQL question which is medium level difficulty. So let's see the tables required to solve this problem. We are using 5 tables to solve this problem. One is customers table, which contains customer ID column, first name, last name, country and score. These are all the columns. And employees table with their respective details, all the employee details. And order tables which contains the order details of every employee or every customer, which contains order ID, product ID, customers, order date, ship date, order status, and so on. Similarly, we have orders archive table, which basically represents the same structure and schema like orders table. If you see here in the orders table, you have order ID, product ID, customer ID, like all the column names, the schema, the structure of the data inside orders table is quite similar to orders archive table as well, right? So these are all the archived orders which is stored in a separator table, which is orders archive, and these are the current orders table, right? These are two different tables. And finally, we are using products table, which contains all the product details. Okay. So now let's see the problem statement, actually what we need to solve. Here we need to find the total sales generated by each employee. Okay. And also here asking in the specific year 2025, right? Along with the department and number of orders handled. Right? This is the basic question they're asking. So here we have to show total sales generated by each employee. That is 1 point. And they are particularly asking for the year 2025. We need to filter this with 2025 data. Along with, and in the result set, we need to show their departments and number of orders each employee is handled, right? And here they mention one important point. We need to include both the current year orders and the archived ones, right? Which means that if you remember, I already showed you this is orders table, which is a separate table, and this one is orders archive table, right? These are both different tables. So they are asking include both the current year orders, means basically from orders table, and archived ones, orders archive table, right? Means they are asking to solve this question using this both archived orders and normal orders table. So this is one point which we need to do initial step, right? And finally, they are asking to display results in the descending order of total sales. So this is the question. So now first let's break down this question in multiple steps. So let me open SQL Server first and let me show all the tables in that. So I am in the SQL Server. If you see here, you can see the database is the sales database. Inside that I have written 5 queries, simple select all the data from all the 5 tables. If you observe here, yeah, these are the all 5 tables: customers table, employee table, orders table, order archive table, and products table finally, right? So these are the 5 tables. Now let's see the question actually. Yes. So if you see, this is the question which they ask. So here, find the total sales generated by each employee in the year 2025 along with the department and the number of orders handled. Include both the current year's orders and archived ones. So let's first break down this one. Step 1 is we need to first combine. Here they particularly mention that include both the orders and archived tables. So for that I am writing combine both archive tables. Let me comment it. So this is the first step, right? So let's solve this first step. In SQL, we know that to combine, we can combine two tables in two different ways. One is we can use joins, one is, other is we can use set operators, right? If we use join, we can combine two tables side by side horizontally, right? We can join table A with table B and combine them horizontally. But here in this case, if you observe, the structure and the schema of these both orders and orders archive tables are similar, and also we need to combine these two tables on top of each other, one after another, right? Not side by side. So for that, if we want to join two tables one after another, means one on the top of other, then we need to use set operators, right? Not joins. So now let's use set operators. Basically we have four set operators: union, union all, intersect, and except, right? So in our case, we need to combine all the rows from both the tables. So we no need to remove duplicates. They are asking to show all the rows from both the tables, right? So for that, we need to combine both the tables one by one without removing any duplicate. For that, we need to use union all set operators. Now let's write a small query. Select star from orders table, right? Okay, the database is changed actually. I will shift to the main original database salesDB. Now, now let just let me run this query. See, this is the one single orders table, right? Now I will mention union all and write another select query to just combine these both tables. That's it. Sales.order archive, right? I didn't write much SQL here. I just combined both the tables with union all. That's it. Let me run these two statements. See here. If you observe clearly, both orders table and orders archive table are combined on top of each other and formed a single big table, right? If you see here, this is the combination of both orders and orders archive table, right? Okay, up to here we just combine two tables as per they ask, right? Here if you see combine current they want rows from both the orders and orders archive table. That's what we did. Now the another point is find the total sales generated by each employee in the year 2025. So they clearly mentioned that only calculate total sales generated by each employee where the year is 2025, right? But if you see here, order date, here is the 2025. The top 10 orders are from 2025 and the next like around 10 are ordered from 2024. But what they mentioned in the question, they want the years should be 2025. So our next step is to filter only 2025 records. So for that, what I will do is in step 2, filter the rows for year 2025, right? That's it. Now what we'll actually do is we'll use the same up to here, the same query, right? Same thing, nothing has changed. Now let's filter this. On top of this query, I am writing another query like select select everything select everything from this query, right? Select everything from this query. What we need to filter? Year, right? Year of order date, where there is a function called year and we need to mention any column in that function, order date, right? Where year order date equals to 2025 as they ask. That's it. Now what we are doing is, see, okay, so just give an alias here, let's say sub, right? So just call this entire subquery as a small sub. So what we did here, we are selecting everything from this subquery, means all the columns is we are displaying in the result again, but whereas here we just applied one filter where it actually shows the year of 2025. That's it. Now run this query. See, the big table is turned into half table. It means that if you observe clearly in the order date column now, all the year 2025 only, means that we have filtered that big table into some part of the table by filtering 2025. Now see, in the question we have taken orders and orders archive table, that's fine, and also we have filtered the data to 2025 here, that is also fine, right? To here it's clear. Now what our main goal, we need to calculate total sales. Here they mentioned total sales generated by each employee. It means that for each employee wise we need to calculate their sales. Means if there is employee A and total sales of A, total sales of B, like that. So for that, instead of now calculate as a third step, step 3, calculate total sales and total orders also. I will show why I'm calculating orders for each employee, right? See, here what they mentioned, find the total sales generated by each employee in the year 2025 along with the department, and here is the main part, and number of orders handled. So they are asking calculate total sales and also number of orders, means count of orders for each employee. So we need to show both the measures, right? So for that, I'm doing one thing. I just copy paste this one, step 2 in step 3. Okay, until it's fine. Now I don't want to show all the columns, as the problem statement suggested we need to show total sales and number of orders for each employee. So for that, okay, so instead of star, I will show only the employees names or employees ID. So for now, if you see in this table, we have a salesperson ID, which basically represent the same employee ID. It means that, let me show you clearly. If I run this two, if I run these two employees table, see here employee ID, here is the employee ID, and here is the salesperson ID in the orders table. So in employee table, it is like employee's ID with the name of employee ID, and here in orders table, it is the name of salesperson ID. Both are same. Okay, so now what I will do is, here I will write salesperson ID. Okay, I want to show in the result that select only salesperson ID, and what I need to select total sales. So there is an aggregate function which is sum, basically sums all the values in specific column. Here after the sum we need to mention any column. So I will mention sales column, which what it will do, it will sum up all the values in the sales column, and I am calling it as total sales, right? And what they're asking again, here we need to find total orders as well. So for orders we have to use count function. Basically it counts the number of orders made by each employee, right? Star as total orders, means that it will count total number of orders in this table, right? Here we have written two aggregate functions. One is sum of sales, which basically return total sales. Another is count of star, which returns total orders, right? If we are using aggregate function like sum, count, anything in the query, then we need to group the data by any of the column. So I am grouping by salesperson ID, because if you see here in that question they mentioned that find total sales generated by each employee, means, so now we are combining, means we are grouping data based on salesperson ID. Now let me run this query, execute, see. So there are three salesperson with IDs 1, 3, 5. So first person ID is made 30 sales, total sales, and 1 order. And the third person ID is made 195 sales with 4 orders. And customer ID of 5 made 155 of total sales with 4 orders, right? This is the main thing which they asked in the output. Okay, now if you see clearly, we have calculated total sales generated by each employee in the year 2025 as well. We have filtered it out along with their department. So we didn't even write any query for this one. See, with their department, they're asking to show all their respective department as well in the output, but we haven't, right? Just make a note of that one. And number of orders, we have already created that one. So that's fine. Now, okay, now let's bring this department in the result sheet. So if you see, so till now we have used only orders and orders archive table, right? If you see here, orders and orders archive table, is there any department details here? No, no. So order ID, product ID, customer ID, sales price, these are all not reflecting any department details here. So let's see where are the department details, because we need to showcase that as well in the result. So for that, see, in the customers table, is there any department? No. Employees. So every employee have this specific department, right? So if you see employee ID, first name, last name, department, so basically it represents department of each employee. So we need to bring the department from employee table. So for that, see, in this query up to here, we didn't use any department. But now for this entire query, we need to combine with department table, right? So for that, as I said earlier in the beginning of the video, to combine the row, to combine the columns from both the tables, we need to use, means we need to combine with the help of joins. So after subquery, I am joining this with inner join. With which table we need to join? We want to join sales dot employees table, right? Department is inside the employees table itself. That's why we are using employees table, and I am giving alias as E. Now I am combining these two tables on with some ID, means with some primary key column, right? On E dot employee ID equals to, we have given a name as sub for this inside query, right? So for that I am using sub dot salesperson ID. Both are same. So we are combining these two tables with the help of ID column, whereas from employees table we are taking employee ID column, and from above table we are taking salesperson ID column. Now we can even bring the department itself from select query E dot department. So now instead of salesperson ID, this salesperson ID is coming from orders table, right? So I don't want to use that salesperson ID. Instead, we can use like employee ID directly from employees table. Now we have joined employees table as well. That's why I'm using employee ID directly from employees table, department from employees table, and the next one is I want to show their names as well. Employee name, first name and last name. For that I am giving E dot first name, right, plus E dot last name. Okay, as full name. I am giving an alias as full name. Okay, that's fine. So we are bringing employee ID, the full name of the employee, department, the total sales made, and the count of orders. So these are all we are bringing in the result set. And now I want to see, we are not using salesperson ID anymore. So that's why in a group I am removing this salesperson ID. So I'm replacing it with employee ID. So group by employee ID. E dot employee ID, comma, we are using full name as well. So that which is basically combination of first name and last name. So that's why I am grouping with full name, first name, comma, E dot last name, comma, and I want to group by department as well. So now, so group by is completed. We have grouped the data as per the unique employer, and we have retrieved their employee ID, first name, last name, and department details as well with the corresponding sales and count of orders. Now, just run this query and see the result once. Yes. So if you remember, same employee ID is now also showing 135. We already seen earlier. So employee ID 1, whose name is Frankly. Department, he is from marketing department. Okay, he made 30 sales with one order, right? This is fine, but I've seen that full name, it is not there is no space between first name and last name. I have observed that. Now let me give one space and place I'm adding. Now just run this query. Okay, wait, let me select it, run this query. Yes, now you can see the space between Frank first name and Lee last name, right? Similarly, but why it's showing null? The name of the employee shouldn't be null, right? So let's first see what is exactly, is there any null employee details by only running this employee table. You see, okay, I can observe that here for the employee ID 3, it's showing null after combining first name and last name. But for the same employee ID 3, if you see, there is one first name which is Mary, but last name is null. But while joining the tables here, it is taking, if we combine null with any of the value, then the answer should be null, right? That is happening right now. But I want to handle this situation. I don't want to show null here. Instead, at least if there is no last name, then it should show first name at least, right? So that is the scenario. For that, I am using coalesce function, which basically if there is any null value, then I want to replace that with like some empty space, right? If there is any, it means that if we use coalesce function, what it will do, first it will check first name column, this one. If there is any null inside this first name, then it will just replace with empty space. It don't show null. So that is the scenario. And similarly, I will apply the same for last name as well. E dot last name comma, I want to show with just empty space, don't want to show null. That's it, right? Let me run it, execute. Right, perfect. You see, employee ID is showing perfectly, and full name, if you say frankly Mary, which with last name is showing as empty space, not null. And like Coral Baker, that's fine. It's showing department with the respective employees and sales made by each of them. So these are the steps. And finally, I think we have missed one thing. Display results in descending order of total sales. It means that they ask to order, means we need to show that result set in the descending order of total sales. For that, at the step 4, order by total sales descending, right? Now what I will do is I will just copy this one, our entire query, paste it below in the step 4, and just add order by statement at the end of the query. Order by, on what basis? We need to order the entire query with highest, means large sales at the top. So I am mentioning descending keyword, right? Now let's run this. Wow, you see total sales 195 by Mary comes at the top of the table. Next 155, employee ID 5, and the last one is 30 sales by employee ID 1. So this is the thing. We have solved this entire problem in 4 different steps, right? You see what we did. We just, first step is we just combine 2 tables on top of each other by using union function. Next one is we just filter the rows as asked in the query by using subquery and filtering year function. And in the step 3, we have just calculated total sales and orders. And yeah, we have formatted this like basic structure of the output. And next, finally, we have ordered and did some minor changes. So that's it. So these are the steps we follow to solve this question. So this is one way of solving the question. This is not only way. We can solve it in multiple ways, but I did solve in this way. And thanks for watching. And if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe.